Hey ladies, welcome back to Tasha Mind Your Money. I'm a mom on a mission to budget smart, save boldly, and share with you our progress, one small step at a time. Let's reset for September. It's time to say goodbye to August and hey to September. We are going to reset our budget in this video, so please comment, like, and share. The Lord is removing some things from me, and I think one of those things is imposter syndrome. The budget is changing, and it must fit where we are right now while we're heading to where we want to be, right? Which is financial freedom. Slight changes are good as we mature and increase, so just do what the Lord says is good for your budget. The Lord is changing my mind about our budget and how we steward this money. So I'm just updating my calendar. I wanted to let you guys know that I was focused on one of my credit cards, not the one I initially set up in my August budget, and we paid $369 to that credit card, so I wanted to update that on my monthly calendar, so when I look back, I remember what we did. The vision board for August was do not slander your future. So even though we didn't hit our top 3 goals for the month of August, I'm making sure I speak life over the budget and do well again to steward it. God is just changing some things, and I'm moving by His grace. So now we get to take a look at the numbers and what actually came in and what we spent in the month of August. So the first thing is our income. Our total actual income for August was $7,684 with 59 cents. A quick breakdown of that: $6,039.83 came from W-2 income, $4.58 came from KDP, and we had 3 extras, which I added up and included into this. But the first extra was $633.77. The second extra was $835.12, and the third extra income was $171.29. It came from different sources. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that during our first members only live. So if you have not joined the Moms Who Grind group, then please check it out. It's a part of the channel's membership, and we'll be discussing all those things about, what we're doing in the background to bring in extra income. So breaking down our giving bucket first, we always give a tithe. And so for the month of August, we tithed $716. We did not give a first fruit offering in the month of August, so that was $0. We had a few line items that I wanted to contribute to that I didn't get to this month. That was annual bills, entertainment, and investing. We didn't do anything with those. I did put a little bit of money aside for our emergency fund, so that was $26.92, bringing our savings bucket total to $106.92. Some of it was the Save 800 challenge that I didn't get to finish in July, and that's how much we were able to save outside of the cash that I normally pull, and I cash stuffed that on my other channel. So bills and expenses was quite a bit. So the mortgage was budgeted at $2,000. We actually put aside $2,494.86. We have been trying to add more to this because we have, we're trying to move, and we also want to make sure that account always has extra for our living costs. And of course, we do plan to be owners. We're moving into a season of ownership, so we're trusting the Lord as we steward this money, put that money aside first so we don't dip into it for any reason whatsoever. Our regular bills came out as normal. Spectrum is our Wi-Fi only. We paid $90 to them. The electricity bill was much higher in August, and still a little bit high for September, so we paid into September's bill in the month of August. So our total contribution to our electricity bill was $250.09. And what you saw there was how much we paid towards Geico in the month, $646.55. That was above what we budgeted also. We're trying to get ahead of bills, even a few dollars at a time. Our gas bill, we paid $112. Our cell phone bill was reduced because I had some apps that I was able to rebate from or remove the money from, and I paid that. So $66.93 for cell phone. Life insurance policies, we have 2 of those. They were $68.38. I was keeping record of gas. We've spent $107 for gas. This is my food envelope. You see, a lot of shopping. $12.64.79 just for food, you guys. This is the highest I think it has ever been. But the total for food and gas was $1,371.80 in the month of August. We did have 5 weeks, so I also contribute that to the higher than normal grocery budget. Our household expenses totaled $274.90. That's everything just to keep the household going. Deodorant, other toiletries, cleaning products, etc. Even diapers for the baby. I include that in the household budget. Our car loan, we actually transferred $600 because we had 5 transfers to that account instead of 4 this month. So that's why it's a little bit higher. We did send $150 in cash to our household laundry envelope. $87 went to challenges, and we had $41 in miscellaneous cash that was spent. So now I'm just going to total up the buckets. You're going to see that there's some leftover money. And so we're going to talk about that because we had extra expenses. And some of those expenses came from like what was left over behind in our accounts. So not all of it came from the budgeted income. And so there is some money left over. We'll talk about it. But we bought some clothes for my kids for back to school. It was $187.82. 2 of my sons got haircuts in the month of August. That totaled $60. That was $25 for each of them, plus a $5 tip for each of them. I think we paid $100 back towards the bus violation based on my tracking. And then we also had some credit card debt. Now, I paid $89.72 to my business credit card. That's the one I wanted to focus on in the month of August. So now we can add all of this up, and you'll see exactly where we are as far as the numbers go. Right? The numbers don't lie. So with our expenses, bills and variable expenses for the month, $6,413.05. That's where we are. So we are going to have some money left over, and I don't want to get ahead of the actual budget, but because my August budget started on July 27th and officially ended on August 30th. So some of the transactions, like transferring from one account to the next, hasn't officially happened yet. And being that Monday is a holiday, I think it's going to be delayed another 2 days. So I'll have to account for those transfers and those money movements in the month of September. But our total expenses came up to $7,513.97. So now all I have to do is subtract that from the income of $7,684.59. And when I do that, it's going to leave me with $170.62. Now we can talk about the starting balances or the ending balances in those 3 accounts that I normally track with you guys. That's our joint main account, that's our operating account, and then our bills account. So in our joint main, we have $108.67 to close out the month of August. In the operating account, we have $10.13. And in our bills account, we have $12.48. Even with that, we're still left with $39. I'm not exactly sure where that $39 is, but we're going to move on. I didn't even put a dent in Save 900 Challenge. We didn't save a dime towards that in the month of August. Things are shifting and changing, so as uncomfortable as this is for me, because I like to be able to save and see that progress, we just have to move on with, with our lives and move on with the budget and see how the Lord is going to lead us. We are at the end of our August budget. leaving with a total of $131.28. And that's basically how we are starting September. My September calendar is pretty basic. I'm going to start by filling in my expense trackers, getting them started for the month of September, and use the starting balances that I currently see in our account as of today, August 30th. I do plan on changing how I track expenses. So what I normally would do is I would write down every single transaction that's transferring from one bank to the next, that's pulling out cash, etc. But this time what I'm going to do is just focus on the three categories that are most important to our family to track and make sure we stay on budget, and that's food, gas, and household. All of the bills are still going to be paid. I am going to track separately that from my bills account, but everything else is pretty much just going to be how much did we spend for food, gas, and household. And thanks to two people, JB's 2 cents, Janelle, and also Brittany from Cash and Planning. I believe that's, or Cash Planning. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but I'll put the names of the channels on the screen. I'm trying to see if we can passively build a cushion or a buffer in our account, and then also make sure that I reduce my grocery shopping to 1 day a week, no more than 2. So we don't have as many receipts, and I can keep better track of everything without getting overwhelmed. That way, hopefully, we can save more money from our grocery budget and then just keep that in our joint account as a cushion and start building from there. The 3 goals that I have set for the month of August, not the month, I'm sorry, the month of September, is 1, to add $100 to our emergency fund. That's extremely important to me that we get started doing that again. Investing $25 via Robinhood, and that's our taxable brokerage, and saving, or at least adding $500 to our miscellaneous fund. Now, miscellaneous is basically just so that we can take care of all the fine things that are coming up. We have a maintenance appointment for the vehicle, so we need to make sure that we have money for the oil change and anything else that may pop up. One of my sons has a birthday in September, and then also we are taking a trip, so we're going to need additional money for our trip essentials because we've only saved $500 toward a vacation, so we're going to need extra money to feed the children, sightsee, and all that kind of stuff. So now we get into September's budget. The 2 types of income that we plan to receive in the month of September is our regular W-2 income from my husband and side income. And so for my husband's W-2, we're going to use $4,800. And for side income, we're planning on $400. Side income can include anything, the things that I'm working on behind the scenes that, again, I'm going to share with my friends, my newfound friends in the Moms Who Grind group. And then also KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing for all of my budget workbooks and things. Then there's also right here on Google AdSense. I don't know if I'll receive AdSense in September, but we're praying for it. Then we also have multiple other ways that we receive income. So again, a lot of that I'll go deeper with for the members of the channel. Thank you so much for still being here. Don't forget to comment and like, okay? The giving, tithe is $5.20 as planned. First fruit is not planned for anything, but we'll see what happens. Save $900. We're not planning to save anything in that category, but the emergency fund is still $100. The brokerage is $25. And I didn't put a budget for annual bills or entertainment, although I would like to put some money in there. I'm tapping because I remembered that the car loan is $480. I did not include that in my pre-plan for the budget. I don't know how I continue to forget about the automatic transfer to pay our car loan, but it happened again. So mortgage is $2,000. We're going to increase how much we send to that account. Our electricity bill is $160. National Grid is $224. The 2 life insurance policies, we budget $69. For food/groceries, $800, so $200 a week in the month of September, just to make sure we have enough for the kids' snacks and lunches for back to school, and I can start making and freezing some meals because the cold weather is coming quickly. For household, $145. For car gas, $160. For our car insurance, $600. It's expensive, and we are shopping around. For our Wi-Fi bill, $90. So our total bills and expenses for the month of September is going to total $4,728. It's pretty high. So behind the scenes, what I cut out was me working out the numbers because there's a shortfall, and we're definitely going to have to step up our side income this month in order to bridge the gap between what we are budgeting and what we actually need. And this is the exposure that the Lord is sending me through because, I don't think I was focused solely on our numbers. I think I was focused on how good I want the budget to look and all of that, instead of just being really completely honest with myself that we need to work a little bit harder. Household cash, which is laundry, $120. For our $5 Monday savings, $80. And for miscellaneous, I still put the $500, even though I know we're already a little bit short because my failure was not including the car loan transfers. So we have an $873 shortfall, but this is how I'm minding my money, and I will continue to do it every week. For the first budget by Paycheck for the month of September, we're going to plan with $1,300. And the top priority is a scripture from Psalm 118, verse 14. The Lord is my strength and song and is become my salvation. And my only financial priority is to keep pressing ahead, to get ahead as much as possible. We are givers and we will give $130. Not because it's a religious ritual, just because we believe the Lord and we believe that the Lord will supply all of our needs according to his riches and glory, and that he will open up the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing that we don't even have room enough to receive. And because we know that the church, the body of Christ, has so many needs, we're going to continue to give this seed and believing that God will allow the people who are receiving that seed to use it in the proper manner. So $130 is the planned tithe. Nothing for our first fruit offering. Our savings is $25 to the emergency fund, and investing is $25 to our taxable brokerage. We will have to take out cash because we live in an apartment that does not supply a washer or a drying machine, so we have to go to a laundromat to do that. So $30 is going to be pulled out for that. And because we are saving $5 at a time for our children and for our household expenses, we're going to take out $20 for $5 Mondays. So after the $50, we have $1,070 left, and that is what is being put aside to pay out all of our bills. First is the car loan at $120, and then the mortgage. We are putting $500 aside in the first week. That's the plan, so that we can cover our regular living expense and then above and beyond that. Okay. And we keep this money in a high yield savings account, so we also earn interest on that, which is a bonus. Bills account, we're going to transfer $150 into that account to cover some of the bills that are due within the first week or the first few days of September. And then we have car gas. We are going to have to put $40 into the tank. I also use Upside to help with, rebates on gas. So it's helpful, a few cents at a time, sometimes 50, 60 cents, but it helps. For food, $200. And then we have $60 left, so I'm going to put $30 aside for household expenses. I need some hangers for one of the garment racks, and I need some bleach, so I should be able to manage with that in the first week. Miscellaneous is going to get $30. I'm going to try my best to put aside that money because my son's birthday is in September, and we want to be able to celebrate him. And that's the $1,070 that we have for our weekly bills and weekly expenses. So when they add up the total for all of these buckets, we should have our $1,300 budget. And we do. Boom, there it is. Zero base budget, $1,300 of planned income minus $1,300 of planned expenses. That's what gives us our zero base budget. And that's it, ladies. This is how I'm minding my money and managing it well. I hope you are doing the same. Continue to mind your money, manage it well, and live your lives abundantly. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.